Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to explain my experience with PRK, and it's laser eye surgery. And the reason why I went through it is so that I could correct my vision, so that I could no longer have to wear contacts or glasses. And you might be more familiar with LASIK. So there's PRK and then there's LASIK. LASIK is they take a flap of your eye, cut it, and they peel it back, and then they laser your eye to correct the vision. PRK is they like dissolve this layer of your eye, and then they laser your eye. So the main difference between the two is recovery time and how thick your cornea is. So if you have a thicker cornea, they might do LASIK, and if you have a thinner cornea, then they're going to do like PRK. Or if you have terrible vision, then they'll do like PRK because it's a larger correction. So they went with PRK with me because my vision was terrible. Like I couldn't see anything in front of me. So one of the things, like before the surgery, one of the things you have to do is like read a consent form, and reading the consent form was kind of scary. And then one thing is you have to have artificial tears with preservative free. You want to have that beforehand. Another thing is like you gotta take these drops, like not artificial drops, antibiotic drops, like 4 times a day, like 2 days before the surgery, and then you have to continue using them after the surgery. And then there's this other one that you have to use 4 times a day, another drop after the surgery. So let me go ahead and explain surgery. So you go in there for the day, and you're going in for your surgery. So the surgery, they take you in this room, the doctor's there, you take off your glasses, you give it to the doctor, and before the surgery, you had to wear glasses for a week. So if you wear contacts, you have to wear glasses 1 week prior to the surgery. And they explain that all. And you take off your glasses. You gave me some Valium, I think to deal with like anxiety, and I didn't really feel it. Like I kind of felt it in my legs a little bit, but other than that, I didn't really feel any effect of it. And they also give you these numbing drops in your eyes so that you don't feel any pain for the procedure. And then they take you into the surgery room. And then when they take you into the surgery room, I think they numb your eyes one more time. They put some more numbing stuff in your eyes. And then they cover one eye. And then when they cover one eye, you're on this table and you look at this at the laser machine. And you have to focus on this. I think it was a solid green light and a flashing red light. And you just focus on that light the whole entire time. And then the doctor, he takes an eye clamp, to open up your eye so that you can't blink it shut. So don't worry about that. They'll make sure your eye is completely open. And then, like, because I'm getting PRK, he took some solution and dissolved a part of my eye. And then after he did that, like a whole bunch of swabs and stuff, like he's swabbing my eye and stuff, like you don't really, like he's doing it, but you don't really feel it, really. And then once the laser part starts, you're focusing on that light, and then you just feel this laser hit your eye. Like you can feel it, and like it surprised me that I actually kind of jumped a little bit, but you can feel the intensity of the laser, and you can feel it go from very hard intensity to a lighter intensity, and you can smell this like burning as it's happening, but the burning doesn't smell like terrible, doesn't smell like, oh, I want to throw up. Like it just smells like something's burning. Obviously something that's burning is your eyes. But anyways, the intensity is higher, then it goes to lower, and then the laser part's done, then the doctor like swabs some stuff, and I think he puts like these medical contacts in your eyes. So you have to have these contacts in your eyes for PRK after it's done, because if you don't, then you won't be able to open your eye, because the layer that he like dissolved of your eye needs to heal. So you have to have these contacts in for 3 days. And he puts that in. But immediately after the surgery, immediately after both eyes were done, I could see 100% better. I was just walking around the office and was able to see like really well, like 20/20 vision it felt like, and I could just walk around and just see a whole bunch of stuff, and that was an amazing experience. Immediately after the surgery, you could just see. So now what you're going to have to deal with after the surgery is your eyes are going to be like extremely light sensitive. You won't be able to look at any lights or the sun or anything that's like bright at all. But they do give you these shades, and you put these shades on and it helps like a lot better. And you're not going to be able to focus on any screen, your phone, the TV, or anything like that day after surgery. And plus, they don't want you to be doing that stuff. Anyways, it'd be extremely painful to do it in the first place. But basically, after all the numbing stuff wears out, then you'll feel like this extreme pain. It's not like super extreme, but it's just like you felt like your eyes were on fire and you're constantly tearing, and you really won't be able to like see. Like, I had an hour drive home and my mom had to drive me home. Obviously you're not going to be able to drive after the procedure. Mom had to drive me home, and it's like I kept my eyes shut the whole entire ride back. And then I had to like get these drops in my eyes and do artificial tears every 30 minutes. And I also had to eat something real quick and take gabapentin. And once you do that, then you can like try to go to bed. And you have to do the artificial tears every 30 minutes while you're awake. You don't have to do it while you're sleeping. And as you're trying to get to bed, you also have to wear this mask so that it protects your eyes, so you don't rub your eyes accidentally while you're sleeping. And the mask is kind of annoying when you have to sleep with it on, but it's something you just have to deal with. And you just want to try to get to sleep. And as soon as you get to sleep, then it's a lot better the next day. The next day you wake up and your eyes don't feel like they're constantly on fire. And it really wasn't that bad. And they go for another check. You go for another checkup, and then they look at your eyes. And one thing that would surprise them is that my vision was actually very good for the day after the surgery. And they were surprised because, you know, kind of stuff happens and your eyes kind of get a little bit blurry. But my vision was pretty good. They checked it up. I got sent home. That night was pretty uneventful. I just did my drops 4 times a day, 2 types of drops, artificial tears, preservative free, every 30 minutes, and I couldn't really look at my screen. I could turn the brightness all the way down and kind of look at it, but not really for very long. I could text some people, some friends, but not really focus on my screen that long because it was kind of hard to focus on that. And I just listened to some podcasts and then went to bed. And then I think the next day, kind of had some trouble with my contact being in my eye, and it felt like something was constantly in my eye, and my eye was just like bothering me because the contacts are in your eye. And uh, eventually, like that night, I got like a really high fever. Thought it was because of surgery. The doctor told me that it's because he thinks I got sick with something, and that the irritation should go away with the eye, and if I have to, I can put some more preservative-free tears in, or put them in the refrigerator to make them more cooling. But I really kind of didn't do that. The bothering of the eye kind of just went away, and the really high fever, he said that he thinks I was sick. But I took 3 ibuprofens and 1 Tylenol, and then my fever started to go down, and I just slept like all day, like next day, and then the next night I didn't really feel that sick anymore, and I don't know what it was, but I was fine, and then it was uneventful, still light sensitive, still can't really look at lights very well. It wasn't as bad now, but like after the 3 days, they can take out my contacts, So we went and did that. I can kind of like look at lights inside now, but like outside the sun's kind of still a little bit bright, and my eyes were still sensitive in that form, and I still had to sleep with the sleeping mask, but they took out my contacts, and then once they took out the contacts, my vision was still like blurry, and your vision will become like blurry because the contacts are in your eyes, and it'll be blurry a little bit after they take out the contacts, and then like 2 days after they take the contacts out, like your vision kind of like fluctuates. It's like a little bit blurry, sometimes clear, blurry, clear, and it's just like fluctuating constantly. And after you get to the 1 week part, then you go back for your 1 week checkup. And at that point, I was able to drive. Like the day before, I actually drove my car for the first time and was able to see stuff. It wasn't like 100% crisp, wasn't 100% clear, but I could see enough to drive. And I went back up for my 1 week checkup, and stuff wasn't 100% in my vision. It was just a little bit blurry. And then I went back to work, and my vision like started to go back to normal, and like I could see a lot clearer. And right now, like after like a week and a half, I could say, or maybe like 2 weeks, my vision is sharp and it's not blurry anymore. Oh, and I forgot to mention that like your light sensitivity, like probably around like almost 6 to 1 week, like you will be able to like look at lights, and you'll be able to look at the TV, and you'll be able to look at your phone and be able to watch stuff again and not have to like constantly listen to podcasts. And overall, it was a pretty good experience. The one thing that I didn't really know is that uh, afterwards, like you'll still have to continue to do artificial tears every 30 minutes to an hour. That's what it said after my 1 week checkup. I haven't gone for my 3 week checkup yet, but I didn't really know that the dryness of your eyes would last so long. I thought it would be like, oh, a couple of weeks and then it'd be done. But I looked up on the internet, it's like 6 months to a year before your like eyes become a little bit more normal with the dryness. And another side effect that I had, which isn't really that much of a minor, it's like a minor side effect, but like before the surgery, I had a stigmatism in my eye, and I could tell like with the lights at night, there was like it was like a stream of light, like the headlights weren't like normal, like I couldn't like look at them directly. Uh, but now there's like a more prominent like starburst of the headlights, but I can still see to drive at night, and it's really not that much of a big deal for me. Another thing is when it's like super super bright outside, like my eyes start tearing up a little bit, like in the morning. Like if I have to go in at work at like 10 o'clock in the morning, like my eyes start watering a little bit, so I kind of put on some shades. That helps. But other than that, I was glad I went through with it, and it's pretty good surgery. If you have any questions about it, I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. If I missed anything, if you're concerned about anything, then I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. But yeah, that was my experience and what I went through. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.